Hello, Divine Feminine. How are you today? So, a couple interesting things. They did have me rearrange my crystals before I started. And let's see, how much space is that? They did have me put the star here. So let's get to shuffling some cards. I don't know about you, but I am not feeling all that optimistic about the twin flame journey at this moment. Yeah, all major arcana so far. So it does feel like there's change afoot. The word disillusionment keeps coming out. Like, I don't know. I feel like the feminine's moving more into a time of authenticity. And like, we've always been authentic, but I feel like she wants to kind of close the gap between how things look and how things feel, or the inner and the exterior. It's interesting that pentacles are coming out. And I think she just has looked at ending a cycle that's been really painful here. And him not kind of letting her, because I can feel that there's an energetic pulling on from the masculine. And in a way, it's almost like she feels a bit trapped. I'm just talking about like major energies here. That lovely Seven of Swords that we just can never get rid of. So let's pull an animal signifier here and see. Bats have been really coming up in my reality. I feel like she's seen through this like facade of the masculines, and that card keeps coming up. It's like all of this facade that's meant to like keep his heart safe, but kind of really just keeps the world from knowing him. So that's what I'm talking about. You have butterfly, transformation is beautiful, and he has giraffe, bigger picture. 11 and 29, which is an 11, and rhino spirit, overcome any obstacle, which is a 5. We have bee spirit on the bottom with the moth. So maybe having a lot more psychic insights right now. And I just get this real feeling like the bee spirit is, it's like this willingness to do the work and look at yourself and transform what doesn't feel good anymore. It will lead to this wonderful result. So that's what I'm getting out of that. It's kind of really straightforward, but they're wanting me to be straightforward because they're just saying like, you're using a lot of your energy and your power to they're drawing my attention to this, right? It's like, stop making explanations for his bad behavior. Like, stop making excuses for him, even if they are his childhood trauma and his psychology and why he runs away and his attachment issues. Stop. Just stop doing it. I'm sorry, nobody wants to hear this because I know why, you know, like we all know why. If you're on this journey, you know why. And yes, the fastest way to get them running is to focus on them. So they're saying to stop focusing on it. So let's see. I'm kind of drawn to do like a his and a hers energy, of course, not gender. I get really tired of hearing like tarot readers just say the same thing over and over again. It gets annoying to me, but are we gonna do this full thing? Okay then. So we have Six of Swords with the Empress, the Star, Queen of Pentacles, and the Fool. Huh. So we're gonna go back through a cycle here. Well, not a cycle. We're gonna go back and revisit some of the reasons that made us feel unworthy, just unvalued, and see that they are not, in fact, anything to do with us so much. There's a real thing here about the star energy. Now we have Queen of Swords in reverse. It's like, you think hope is the key, but it's really not. They want you to move into knowing. Like a very, sorry, I'm burping. And pretty soon I'll be yawning because that's how I channel. They really want you to know, like, hope is kind of for when you're not sure, they're saying. It's like, I really didn't expect such a big message today. I honestly wasn't feeling very much. They're really pointing to the past here, and they're really saying, like, I'm taking responsibilities for my mistakes. The more you take responsibility now and go into this transformation, like, head first, and that means look at why you do the kind of mental gymnastics and overthinking and the fear. If you look at those things, you'll transform this whole situation, and then they will transform their whole situation. And there's this pureness, mastermind, imagine sleeping next to you, emerald, Isis, go for it. You've got a lot of energy on your side, behind you, backing you up, like pushing you forward. Okay, let me get back to it. So what they're saying is, you will never change anything by, like, worrying. I don't want to be alone. That's at the heart of this. I can't make you happy. I can't let go of you. If you just sit and worry about it and don't kind of unpack it for what it actually is, which is not about you, you'll be stuck still. Okay, so let's look at your thoughts. I could have taken more cards, but Four of Wands, Sacral Chakra, Hermit. I let my doubts and fears get the best of me. Baddie, drugs and alcohol in reverse. So they want you to stop escaping. This is a really clear message to me. It's like some of you escape by being alone, this was coming through this morning for me. It like feels good to be alone because nothing triggers you, but there's also not so much growth unless you trigger you, right? You just sit and ruminate on, well, first of all, what happens is that if you're a people pleaser, this is really a really intense reading I was not ready for. So if it's not for you right now, just leave it. If you're a people pleaser and you feel better by yourself, it's because you mask your true feelings, thoughts, and what you want to say to like modulate the energy in the room. And then when you're alone, you can kind of drop that mask. Spirit is encouraging you to get your baddie gear on and get out of hibernation, get out of your comfort zone, your kind of, we all have things that we do that comfort us and make us feel like coping mechanisms, right? Some of them are drugs and alcohol. Some of them are watching too much TV, shopping, whatever. And so there is this opportunity right now of this portal here, but it requires you to stop being afraid of being a baddie. Only you will know what that means to you. Like, I'm not here to tell you what to do in your life. Okay. Man. They are worried. Really worried. For them, there's this real darkness coming from their inner child that they are trying to run from. So if that's mirroring what's going on with you, you'll know it, right? There's all this inner child stuff coming up right now, helping us get to our actual truth, helping us deal with this fear of abandonment, fear of rejection. Right now, the shadow aid is coming, and it's the Jaguar. I think it's Black Jaguar. Comes now to heal your wounded soul so you may rise to the royal position you deserve to be in. There's a lot of black imagery here. And fear of loss, fear of lack, fear of, my inner child doesn't want to be left, doesn't want to be unrecognized, doesn't want to be unloved. The inner child is where your feelings are. And there's this anxiety going on about, I don't want to be vulnerable. So remember that you go through everything first. So you may have just gone through this or are going through this fear of vulnerability. You may feel like you've already done it, but then you may realize there's more to it than you originally thought, because they're reflecting that to you. So in your feelings, look at that double transformation death card. So he got Starseed, you got Pleiades. There's a lot of people trying to put negativity on Pleiades right now, and don't accept what doesn't work, feel right for you. So this is like I'm holding back card again. You have to look at in your life where you're holding back. Because I feel there's just huge blocks here in saying what you guys are actually feeling. With this strength card in reverse, and with his cards too, I feel like there's this thing that's going on where he's trying so hard, because often there's this diagonal line here, like the thoughts of the one person are reflected in the feelings of the other person. And I feel like he's trying so hard to look strong, to look like invincible is the word they're giving me, and to like not take action. And that's kind of how you're feeling. You're feeling like it would look weak of you to make the movement, and that it is bringing up, some of you may have made movement and it hurt because you didn't get the response that you wanted, and that is causing this transformation, right? This is such a powerful card in this deck because it's really showing you, I love that it's using the rainbow colors because that's the colors of the chakras, and that it's showing you what's out of alignment, right? And here it's a fear of intimacy and a fear of, if I let you in, this is really heart chakra stuff right here, which is great because in a lot of ways, although you have the sacral in reverse up there, I feel like you're kind of trying to detach from the physicality, like with your twin, or you don't feel it as much right now as normal. That's because they're getting a giant dose of it and they feel, I think that's why they're putting up this front, right? Is because they feel like super drawn to you, but it is a lower chakra thing. And, you know, to be in the heart chakra is an advanced thing. The heart calls us to be honest. And when you desire to be honest, I'm not going to say it's like the opposite of strength, but because a lot of the solar plexus, which is Leo, which is strength, supports the heart, you know, when it's in balance. But there is still a fear of rejection here. And that means like, I do the rejecting before you do the rejecting, and that makes me feel safe. And there is a lot of assistance from whatever you believe in, starseed wise, for us to transform this. And he's feeling this too. Look at that. Again, this blue, which is just straight up truth, justice, integrity. I don't know. He wants to do the right thing, and maybe some of you are in situations where it's really not right for you guys to be talking, and he knows that. And this could have been like a hookup or something casual to begin with, and there were feelings caught that he's trying to get away from. And instead, this is such a crazy message because the violet flame's been coming through so strongly. So I'm not here to tell you about your own moral compass and what you think is right and wrong, and you need to figure that out for yourself. So this, in soul connections that are like soul-based, of course they have 3D consequences to everything that's done here in the 3D. There is a big desire here to both speak the truth, but also do the right thing. And he's really struggling here with feeling something he did not expect to feel about you, not being able to stop thinking about you, and you really kind of transforming the way. So crazy here because in this side of the field, which is the past, there's no purple. And over here, all purple. And I've never looked at that before. But they're really telling me he's going through this period of enlightenment, right? We got the Hermit card here. And it's dawning on him. There's a lot dawning on him right now about, and he's waking up to, it's like his true worth is spiritual. He's waking up to himself like as a spiritual being because of you. And you know, the Knight is about movement. And the movement that he's seeing here, he's going towards, is future movement. I feel like there's something underway here where he's purposefully not talking to you, not interacting with you in the way, oh my God, there's a hummingbird right outside my window, right when I said that. That's so cute. I've never seen that there. Okay. I think he watches you somehow. It just checks in on you, because that's what it did. It came right up, looked right in, and flew right away. It was so crazy. Just really fast, really fast. Like, I think he looks, and he checks in, and then he goes back. But he's having this bigger picture here about the meaning of his life. That took a long time. Okay, let's go. Actions are slow. Wow, really slow. Super duper slow. I can't express myself. This is what you guys are dealing with. You have to go into that shadow. Wow, these cards are really straightforward. You have to go into the shadow about why your male role models, caretakers, and then romantic relationships in your life. Why did you not feel like you could share your truth? How did they, this is, I think, about emotional unavailability. The way that they controlled you, like hot cold wise, this is really what I feel like this is. Like they couldn't, and it is a masculine thing, right? To not use words, but use actions. But there's something here about the way the masculine figure got angry, yelled, used force and power, could be like physicality, intimidation, pain. There's all of these things here that let me get it. Created a distrust, and like a shell, yes, a shell. The shell is an issue, the cocoon, the barrier. These are being brought up right now here. It's all of this Capricorn energy, it feels like to me, is really bringing up this double energy, this, you may be having some weird dreams. I get that here too. Because it's like there's other realms coming in. Other realms are like overlapping us right now. There's some kind of portal opening. That was like the first card I saw. Look, he had 5 of Swords and now 5 of Wands. He's having like a psychic awakening. He's recognizing like the passage of time here. there's a lot about the passage of time here. Okay, it says I wanted to call on your birthday, but that is about important days passing by, right? We just went through this season of Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. If you guys weren't in each other's lives, there is something here that part of him really wanted to touch base with you, see how you are, acknowledge you. And yet it felt like if that were to happen, there would be all of this conflict somehow. It would bring up all of this stuff, you know. In this card, it's almost like they're not in a cave, but it kind of looks like they're in a cave. And here she's kind of trapped, right? Well, she isn't kind of trapped, she's trapped, but she could just open the gate, but she's not opening the gate, right? He's not opening the gate because there's like this psychic transformation going on. And this, a realization, like I've said this a lot, because time is a 3D thing. Look at, my voice is just going crazy right now. Because he wants to talk to you, but he's so afraid. And the vulnerability that comes from actually expressing things is terrifying. And in the 3D world, time passes and your feelings fade and things are healed. But with the soul connection, it never goes away. It's the same 12 years from now as it is now. And you're probably going to say, no, it's not, because in certain ways I feel better or I feel differently. You feel differently because of the work that you have done on yourself. That's the only thing that makes things change with the soul connection. And when you do the work on yourself, he can then do the work on himself. Soul connections, you don't come together and do the work together like we think that we do in a 3D world. And so for whatever reason, he's been stuck, you've been stuck, you're both stuck. It doesn't have to apply to everything in your relationship. But it definitely applies to something with feeling and something with I do feel like whatever has happened, and right before when I was shuffling, they were bringing up the doubt aspect really hard. Like, for the feminine, they're just like, you need to move beyond doubt now. It's time to let the doubts go. The doubts in yourself, the doubts in this relationship, and all of it. Oh, that came out of nowhere. To pull the crystal blue card with this feeling card is very high level intuition. And I'm really getting here that there's something in him that's really seeing, like, I think he wrote off many things about anything you said or this being different. And though we haven't seen the beautiful karmic come in here, I'm actually going to do these cards right now, which I've never done this in one of these relationships, I don't think, spreads. Is that something I really feel like right now here is that he understood how much that karmic relationship kept him stuck and how much he, and I think you're realizing this about him or have realized it about him, and he's realizing it about the karmic, which is exactly how it works. Yeah, there's clarity, truth, now I'm getting almost dizzy because the realization of the power and the, we're saying in power and force, but those two are polar opposites. There's something here about understanding. Look at karmic. Okay, so trigger warning, which I almost never give. Trigger warning, so please fast forward. I'll put my hand in front of the camera when I'm done talking about it if you don't want to hear about the karmic. He may have gotten engaged or married to the karmic. He may have been seriously thinking about that. And I think he's come to a huge realization about it. Something he can't even almost talk about with himself. And this is in comparison to you. This is coming up, is that he used to think that the karmic was like his ideal soulmate. And it's becoming extremely clear to him that they are not. And that is due to self-worth work. Like when you do self-worth work and self-concept work, and you actually see that, this came up for me last night and I did a video on my Instagram. It's like when you actually see that you were projecting your insecurities onto him and making his rejection about your fears. I swear to God, it is the most freaking liberating thing in the history of the world. Like I have never had a more liberating feeling. That understanding that all of the stuff that he was doing was simply just a reflection of my own insecurities. It was crazy town. It's crazy town. Like I'm still going through it. But it's like he is really understanding right now, I think, or will be shortly when you complete this process of looking at this shadow projection, that she is not his soulmate. I feel that very strongly with these cards. And that they were like trauma bonded in a way. That you were probably, you know, doing that with him. And that's a psychological term, but we all do that. Just, we all project our thing onto the other person and make it about us, right? That's our ego, our fear. Okay, I'm done. So I'm going to try not to talk about that anymore. Although I do think if you think you can stomach it, it has a really important message. So we're going to get into the near future here. I'm going to pull 3 more cards of these and see what the main kind of future theme is for you. Going with the flow in your emotions. Oh, this one was turned over. Trust in reverse. Okay, very, very, oh, look at that. I've never pulled this card. Look at all the chakra colors and the ring. Maturity, and I think that has to do with being alone. And look at the bottom of the deck. That's crazy. It's got the lion. She's riding with the flute and the camel. So it's rebirth. It's like our 3rd rebirth card, 3rd death card. So let's look at what's coming in for you. Well, I love to see the sun. I don't love to see the 7 of Cups. But I do actually think that this is more about you than about him. Because I do think, look at the lion again. And we have the King and Queen of Pentacles with the psychic knowing of your worth. These are really, really powerful cards of the solar plexus and knowing your worth. And let me get one more card here. Why a Page of Swords? Huh. I don't think he's going to be able to tell you the truth yet. It does look like he's holding back. And I feel like you're not interested. Like, you've got too much going on, like too much self-worth here. You know, there's that snake leaving. And get heart chakra colors with the root chakra. This is really understanding our inner critic and that masculine energy that made us feel so unstable here. Your inner critic is your unhealed trauma from your ancestral line, and you may be dealing with the masculine trauma. Why did I only get two? Yeah, I pushed you away because I was scared. You're very intimidating. I don't know what to say. I brought you flowers and then I couldn't do it. So they're saying, indicating the Ho'oponopono prayer, which if I try to do it, I'll forget one of it. It's just repeating, thank you, I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, while holding, in this case, I would hold like whoever you're trying to forgive. I would not hold your twin flame in your mind. If it's like your father or your male caretaker, I would hold their inner child or their small self in my mind while I did it, and to ask, but you could also do that with yourself. I don't know who I am anymore. He's figuring that out. My life is a mess right now. Yeah. He's figuring out and taking responsibility that his life's a mess. What do you see in me? The more you do that, the more he does that. Any mess that you have in your life, taking responsibility for why you created it, which is probably a subconscious inner child thing, is the key to having this all go faster. So why Sun in reverse? Moon. Wow, powerful. Really powerful. And look at, it's like you guys are looking at each other but in different worlds almost. And okay, so there's a lot going on here. It's like balancing these two polarities. So even if she wanted to speak her truth to this other person here, this person couldn't hear her or understand what she was saying, right? In a lot of ways, it's metaphorical. It's like if you're speaking from your emotions, the subconscious, right? The subconscious is manifesting our feelings, which are our inner child. You, this other person here, couldn't hear because they're not connected to their feelings, right? They're not connected to their feelings because of, so the Sun in reverse is still a fantastic card. It's not negative. And the Moon is not a negative card either. I really dislike that interpretation of it. It has more to do with the things we're doing unconsciously. And the saying, we're in the process of bringing those things into the light. But you kind of have to translate. Look at, I think I talked about bats when I was first shuffling, and there's a bat wing. That's a death and rebirth card hiding behind that bowl. One of the choices that you have is to go through this death and rebirth of how you kind of translate your inner child's feelings. And it's going to require you, wow, it's a deep message, to get out of your pride and kind of tame that lion. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that card came out. I forget even what deck that's in. It's in this deck. So yeah, you're going to need all of this strength here to look at, to tap into these unseen realms and deal with, it's a really actually beautiful message. Especially as we go into Pisces season, anytime, you know, it's crazy here too, that this person is floating in the air and this person is in the water. So yeah, that's what's going on. I feel like something happened. The masculine can see that you're going into this depths, right? Either you did something, you said something, there's something that happened that showed you had healed a certain level. And this has triggered some kind of, like, they're using the word cascade, like a domino effect. Ugh. It's because it's causing him to become quite unstable. Okay, so he's been unstable before, and he acted it out. He acted out in a way that was not good for him. And he's trying not to do that again. So let's see what themes here are coming, or who's helping with these things for you guys. I don't know why everything got all, see, when I was talking about that, everything kind of got like all off kilter. That's how he feels. Whatever happened made him feel very off kilter. Diana, focused intention. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions, which is what we just read. Focus on your target. You will make the mark. That's a beautiful energy with that Archer. Kali, beginnings and endings. The old must be released, the new can enter. Yeah, he's releasing what we talked about. That person, but also the ideas that go along with being able to be with a person like that. Maeve, cycles and rhythms. Honor the cycle of your body, energy levels, and emotions. It's beautiful with the northern lights. I feel like you're being very, very guided. Sige, quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. I think that will assist you greatly if you can find the courage to be alone with your thoughts. So we'll do the three piles today of, oh, look at, they got Emerald again. They kind of want me to talk about the difference between like compassion and empathy is a boundary. And I hate talking about boundaries, but they're saying it is important right now to have your boundaries in the proper places for you. I have a feeling that's what this will be about. Bottom of the deck for everyone is courage, which is a beautiful energy. And, you know, courage requires that we leave our fears behind. Masculine's definitely being enlightened. He's got that lotus on the palm there. Bottom of the deck. Mahavatar Babaji, soul expansion, another Pleiadian card. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. I'm missing it. I'm missing a deck. Here we go. I love the colors of this card. You know, they are being enlightened with wisdom on being able to speak their truth. Pure white dragon from Orion transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know. Act with truth and honesty and let your wings of light grow and expand. So we did talk about that. Act from truth and honesty. Okay, and then the messages from your higher self. Oh, there's my lapis. I was looking for that the other day. My beloved, though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united, for our love transcends space and time, and nothing is missing. So pile 1, Diana. You have Hematite, Cthulhu, and the blue dragon from the Pleiades, and only time will tell. So you're being called to ground. We have this cycle here. As I talked about in this reading, there's cycles ending and beginning. I don't necessarily think they're like the cycle with your twin, but it could be. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. I think this is more a cycle within yourself. Prepares you to accept source healing, accept a heart activation. So we saw a lot of the heart cards here. Give and receive heart healing. Only time will tell. So you can call those energies in if you would like to work on those things. Use the crystal, ask them in meditation, etc. Okay, so Maeve with the crystal skull. Wow, super powerful cards. Citrine, abundance. Isis, magic manifesting. Your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. The rose pink dragon, which is the heart chakra, prepares your heart to connect with the higher facets of the cosmic heart. Open your heart to warm-hearted love. And diamond light, connect with the love of the universe. And then reflection, give each other some space at the moment. Trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. And then Kali, which I really feel is more the masculine energy. I knew Jesus was going to be here. That's so crazy. I almost just said Jesus. Labradorite, take action. Master Jesus, forgiveness. I do feel like the masculines, again, with this blue lotus here, are working on a really high level of forgiveness and speaking that out loud, speaking their truth, and perhaps even asking for forgiveness. You're on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. Father healing is possible at this time. I definitely feel like this. If you feel there's remnants of father healing to be done, it is a very powerful time right now with all this Capricorn energy to do that. Helps you remember the wisdom of Golden Atlantis. Yes, we are in the age of Aquarius now. Awaken, bring back knowledge, gifts, and talents. Reclaim your mastery. I don't know why I kept seeing that as tokens. Give thanks for blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. And that requires knowing what's in your heart, which requires connecting to your heart and your feelings, right? And healing your inner child. I hope this has helped you. It was beautiful messages. I know they're very direct, and their spirit is like so wanting to support you right now and love you and help you in any way possible. I feel so much spiritual support right now. Even in the 3D, I feel like there is an incredible energy to tap into if you want it. Even at the times you feel so alone, or you feel like maybe this will never change, or you'll never heal something, or you are so heartbroken over things, like the energies right now streaming onto earth through all of these archetypal energies, but also just any ascended master, or you know, if you just connect to source, or you connect to your higher self, or you connect to the earth and, you know, pagan, any of it right now feels so heightened to me that we are at this time of just being like transcending into such a powerful, spiritual, and grounded 3D being, right? Just fully embodying this spiritual energy here on earth and not having to choose to either be spiritual or be practical. Like, I feel the fusing of both of them so strongly that we can accept all these like beautiful facets of ourselves and understand and forgive that the people who couldn't accept their facets and couldn't accept your facets, it's okay. Like, it doesn't actually even mean anything. It means that at that period of time, right, we were more limited in our scope of understanding, but now we're so much more expanded, and we're only expanding more. And the more we expand, the more that we can accept ourselves as super powerful spiritual beings having this beautiful physical experience, that none of our feelings are bad. They're just to be here, to be understood. And I don't usually go on rants like this, but it's really coming through that if we choose to be brave right now, we can end these cycles of pain within us where we didn't feel loved for who we are. And we can see that someone else's limitation around love and acceptance doesn't mean anything about us at all. It just is all about them. And you can like give your inner child that love and acceptance that they've always wanted and needed and deserve to have, right? And like that is that the alchemy of Aquarius and the alchemy of the new earth and the 5D, like grounding itself here. And that Christ light coming to full fruition, right? We just finished that age of Pisces, which Jesus brought in for us and asked us to, you know, that Jesus, my understanding, comes from Venus, and it was all about learning self-love. And now that we have finished that cycle of ascension, we can ground that beautiful Christ diamond light into the earth. And that's what my belief with this all started with the rings, is our higher selves grounding our high vibrational energy into the earth. So if you want to imagine yourself with your counterpart, like don't put energy onto them, but if you want to imagine that ring and you can feel it and see it, streaming that energy down onto earth and grounding it, which is one of the things, like the most common, I want to say, thing I've done over the past 3 or 4 years now, is like helping those rings carry that high vibrational energy and ground it down to earth and remove the obstacles. And I still do that. I just have to do it. I don't do it as much because the energy is picking up momentum and speed so much. Is that this is the ending of those blocks, right? Often what I would see when I would ground the energy from the ring is like big concrete blocks put into the earth that would kind of stop your higher self's energy from grounding. And that's that kind of split, right? Feeling both spiritual, feeling physical, but not being able to integrate that. And when we did, it would feel so painful because we wouldn't feel that acceptance or understanding that we longed for. And so this really is the return of the Isis energy, the Atlantean energy, that line of magic that dates so far back. And I won't be surprised when, you know, if you don't know about the crystal skulls, there were 12 that were discovered, and the 13th is the amethyst skull. So when our vibrational frequency reaches the right level, that will also surface and bring its knowledge back to us. But anyway, that was my little rant. I haven't done one of those in a very long time. I was feeling particularly inspired. And also they just want me to point out, you know, working with lapis lazuli will help you speak your truth. I know I received some beads of lapis, and that I wear sometimes when I really am working on attuning my throat chakra. And of course that has to do with the courage to be honest with your truth and speak it, right? All right, I shall talk to you later. Bye.